Hi, this is Jessie Cukierkorn from Natural Bridge Elementary in North Miami, Florida. This is where I've been teaching since I graduated from USM in the doctoral program with Dr. Karnes. And we also published a book together with Proofrock. I am the author of Arts Education for Gifted Learners, part of the Practical Strategy series that Dr. Karnes edited. I am delighted to say a few words about Dr. Karnes and her influence in gifted education and on my professional life and path. Without a doubt, Dr. Karnes is truly one of the most influential people in my life, and my career path changed entirely because of Dr. Karnes. And I can think of a few really important lessons that I learned from her that I try to pass on in our field. One of the first lessons that I remember learning from Dr. Karnes that just wowed me was the idea of public relations as it relates to Department of Education, any small department, even your own classroom, being an advocate for your own class and using public relations as a tool for that advocacy. And surprisingly, I learned from Dr. Karnes a new technology that I had never thought had anything to do with the field of education. And that technology was the outgoing voicemail message. I just remember so vividly how the Karnes Center, well, she explained why the Karnes Center has that outgoing message advertising all of the programs ongoing. It's just like a great way to use your captive audience and get them more informed. So this was a lesson that I really held on to, and even today try to learn all kinds of new things like ed chats on Twitter and things like that that to me seem just so strange that involve technology, but once I discover bring me to like a newer height or a deeper understanding. A cute memory I have with Dr. Karnes and my family was right after Hurricane Katrina, when we gathered as a department for some kind of barbecue or dinner, and my dear Sophie was 8 months old, and Dr. Karnes held her in her arms. It was the first time that she held Sophie and interacted with her, and Dr. Karnes looked straight in Sophie's eyes and said, "You are going to be an important woman. You're going to be the President of the United States." I'll never forget that statement, because what I learned from Dr. Karnes in that moment was to always empower others and see the brightest in them. And that's just exactly what we do in gifted education. Another important lesson that I learned, I'm going to get all teary-eyed. It's very emotional thinking about those times, learning with Dr. Karnes, because we did such great things together. We worked on several federal grants, and I know that my colleagues share really lovely memories of those years in the office. And another really lasting lesson that I learned from Dr. Karnes that I do try to pass on to others in our field is the idea that if you're going to build a program, sometimes you have to go and get the people. That recruiting is part of the process of building a strong and lasting program in education. So Dr. Karnes recruited me into the field entirely. It was not something that I would have ever considered pursuing, and I'm just delighted that my life took this path. And I really do love what I do, working with children every day at Natural Bridge Elementary. So here, just as an example, she recruited me, and I learned right away that to build a program at a school level, where I started this program 7 years ago, there was no full-time gifted teacher at the school, and year by year I made sure that we were testing more and more children so that we would end up serving more and more children. And this was something really that was just my immediate translation of the lessons that I learned from Dr. Karnes. It's living. And those 3 lessons I've learned from Dr. Karnes, I send a huge hug and a kiss from North Miami, and I wish everyone all the best.